Hey there, this is Wacko Bob with another fearless report here for all you YouTubers. I'm going to stick with wrestling for a little bit here because I know a lot of people had a little bit to say where my favorite giant of wrestling goes, the all-time best, who I feel is the all-time best. And as I clean up here this blanket, throw it over there so you can see how absolutely clean my bed is. Let me go over another one here with you. This one has to do with tag team wrestling, and really has to do with the fact that tag team wrestling really, over the last, say, maybe 15 years, has really become a dying art. Now, why has it become a dying art? That is a good question. And the big problem is here, why tag team wrestling has become a dying art, has to do with the fact that I really don't see tag teams sticking around for the long term. And the tag teams that you really see that don't stick around for the long term really are ultimately few and far between what they used to be. You don't see the tag teams in wrestling like you did in the past, when you had the Road Warriors, Demolition, the Midnight Express, the Rock and Roll Express, the Rockers, or the Midnight Rockers, as some people would rather know them as, Bad Company or the Orient Express, a lot of different teams, that were out there. Barry Windham and Mike Rotundo were known for being a tag team. Money Incorporated, the Rougeau brothers, the Briscoe brothers, you name them. Then there were a lot of great, effective, real good tag teams out there, for the longest time. And I am surprised to see how they pretty much, fallen by the wayside as of late. And honestly, it surprises me. Now, I will say this, over the last few years, you've got to see tag team wrestling look a little more effective and look like it means something once again over in TNA. But even in TNA, the tag teams seem to be rather relegated and still not being taken as seriously as they could. You got great teams like, the Motor City Machine Guns. The Dudley Boys are now known as Team 3D. You got Beer Money Inc. You got a lot of good tag teams out there. But at the same time, are they being taken seriously? Are they trying to break off Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley? Are they really doing what needs to be done in tag team wrestling? Tag team wrestling is a dying art, and if you ever look at wrestling for what it is, they didn't recognize too many tag teams in the WWE Hall of Fame for the longest time, and picked up my nail clipper, sorry. And really, tag team wrestling, really has, bottomed out over a few years. If you look in WWE, they've broken up a lot of good tag teams. They broke up Paul London and Brian Kendrick, which were a great tag team, almost Strikeforce-like. The World's Greatest Tag Team, which had a lot of potential, but they broke them up, and now them as solo wrestlers mean nothing. Just a lot of things, and it's sad to see how tag team wrestling has gone. It really is. I really wish it, stayed more together. And WWE Hall of Fame, for the longest time, there was a good 10 to 12 years where the only tag team that was in the WWE Hall of Fame were the Valiant Brothers. Now, was that fair? No, I don't think it was fair. Not at all. I don't think any of you guys would say, that something like that was fair. And honestly, but look who they've put in there since then. Look who they've put in there. They've put in, the Briscoe brothers, Valiant Brothers. Let's be honest here with you. They put in, the Blackjacks. The only tag team that's really in there that should be in that WWE Hall of Fame that deserves to be there, and that's not meaning to disrespect any of the other tag teams, are the Wild Samoans. Like, why aren't the Road Warriors recognized yet? They had so many opportunities to, and they blew it. Why didn't they recognize the Road Warriors already? Why didn't they recognize, some of the other teams out there like Demolition? There's a lot of tag teams out there, that have been out there, and I just don't think tag team wrestling is getting the respect it rightfully deserves.